SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
I'll pre-record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Roll A, fade up on A.
Southern Miss to the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
All right, let's go. Super Talk Eagle Hour back on the air, broadcasting from the Southern Bancorp studio. Bob Getty, Kelly Sanner, Graham Crawford, we're all here with you in Oak Grove. Later in the program, we're going to be hearing from Dima Mixon. He's out on campus. It's media day for Southern Miss football. Got a former basketball player everybody's going to recognize. He's in the studio with us. We're going to bring him on in just a few minutes, and we're going to start the show off with our good friend Lee Roberts to do some football analysis. I want to remind you about the opening segment of the show, sponsored every day by Dickey's Barbecue Pit, which is a great place to have a good meal tonight with your wife and kids, or to tailgate this weekend. Give them a call. Not too late. Dickey's can get you set up. Jacksonville State in town this weekend. Golden Eagles coming off a disappointing loss to Louisiana Tech. We bring Lee Roberts, who does the color analysis for the radio network, onto our show every Tuesday. And Lee, I don't want to dwell too much on the past because I do want to get your thoughts about the upcoming game, and I do have a quarterback question I want to ask you. But just real quickly, give us your overall take. And I'm sure, like all of us, you were a little disappointed in the outcome.
No, I was really disappointed. I knew going in, obviously, that Louisiana Tech was a team that was much better this year. They were under, fourth year now under their head coach of Sonny Cumbie, and so I knew this was going to be a team that had a really, really good defense. Their offense came out spectacular the first three drives, and if I could make a comparison, it's almost like this game was similar to the App State game, except the App State game, we were on the winning side, but we got dominated by yards. This game, we dominate yards, time of possession, everything that you want to do. We just come up short on the winning side. And, again, it just goes to show you when you have the ball down in the score zone, you've got to score. And so I think I just think bottom line from the game is we left too many points out on the field. And, obviously the pick six doesn't help. Things just seemed like they were going by way of Louisiana Tech a lot of the night. I don't think the officiating crew was great. They ended up getting some of the calls right after they've gone to review. It was just kind of an odd game overall, where you have such a great night with yards, but again, you're a 10-point loss on the road to a team that I didn't think would beat us. But hey, I think they surprised a lot of folks.
Lee, it's easy to criticize. If you hadn't been in the game playing it, it's a lot different. But I've heard a lot of people say they thought that the quarterback play was a little tentative. There were times where the quarterback could have gotten first downs, maybe even scored, but elected not to. What goes on in your mind when you're doing when you're in the middle of an action like that? You got to make that split-second decision. Do I just tuck it and run? Do I throw the football? And your observation of Braylon Braxton's effort in that regard Saturday night?
Well, on one hand, I felt like Braylon Braxton had a really good game. On the other hand, I think you're right. He made some decisions that just weren't great for Southern Miss, and most of that came down in the score zone. I felt like there were times when he tried to shovel the pass forward, and I don't know if that came from the sideline and that's what they wanted to do, or if he kind of had a run-pass option. I felt like, he could have kept it there. And even not even his fault on the second and goal line, the third and goal line, the fourth and goal line. 3 opportunities not to punch it in. So that was disappointing as well. But I felt like there were times, and he was chased pretty much, all night long. I felt like Louisiana Tech had a really good plan. They were able to get to him. He avoided, several sacks in the backfield. But I just felt like his decision making wasn't great. I feel like when he got back to campus, he and Coach Anderson, I feel like they sat down, they went over the tape and got things corrected, and I think it'll be different this week.
Lee, do you think any of this has to do with the fact that, he was playing from behind? Whenever you've got that I've got to score and you make those decisions in crunch time, Talk us through that.
I mean, I feel like if it's late in the game, possibly, but we were never truly out of this game early. Yeah, they scored in their first 3 possessions, and on the road that kind of does set you back a little bit. But I think Coach even told him at the half, he's like, hey, we need to play one play at a time, one drive at a time, and one score at a time. And you're not going to get it back in one play and in one drive. I just think it's a deal where you have to use the longevity of this game. And I feel like the defense gave us many opportunities. They shut them out the second half. We just couldn't get anything going as far as into the end zone. I mean, we had 3 points until the late touchdown. It's just very disappointing that they just couldn't punch it in. So I don't think it was because we're playing behind, because that was pretty early in the game. But I don't know what was going through his head, to be honest.
Anytime you're at war, Lee, you want to have the element of surprise. And this is not necessarily a Southern Miss question, but a football question. Teams get down on the 1 yard line or closer, and they all are going to just try to stuff it through the middle. I get what the numbers say, but when the other team is expecting you to do that, why don't teams come up with the element of surprise and pass the ball or roll the quarterback out or do something like that when they're expecting you to run it? So I just don't understand why teams get conservative in those situations.
Yeah, if you've got a guy that can run the football like we do in Braylon, I feel like that is something. And again, maybe Coach Anderson's kind of thinking that today too. But I feel like in the heat of the battle, when you have it second and goal line, you got to say, hey, I just got to have confidence in my offensive line that they're going to get a little bit of a surge to where we can push forward. But again, I just felt like Louisiana Tech was a little better, especially on that possession. And yeah, probably because they knew it was coming, they were able to load the box, load the front of the offensive line. But again, you've got to have confidence in your O-line to get a little bit of a surge.
All right, so the Gamecocks come in here this weekend, and they are run heavy. Most people would think if you can contain the run, you've got a chance to beat this team. What say you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think defensively, we're playing pretty good at certain times, and yeah, we've got to be able to load the box and stop the run for sure. I mean, this is obviously we're a new team from last year, but this was probably our worst performance of the year. Was we went to Jacksonville State last year, so I know we've watched that tape, we've thought about that game, and we know we need to make a difference here at home, and I think we will. So obviously we will. One, yes, you got to stop the run, but two, this is a team you just on the road. They want to come in here and try to bust our bubble. They know they've done it once before, and they're going to try it again.
Every quarterback has to have an offensive line, Lee. Your observation of how this one is playing.
For this upcoming weekend, you mean?
Overall, how do you see the offensive line for Southern Miss playing and protecting Braylon Braxton?
I mean, I'd say probably maybe a B-. I don't think it's been great up front. When you've got a guy that can scramble, he's able to make things happen with his legs, and therefore you don't see as many sacks as other teams might because he's able to avoid the rush. But yeah, I feel like he's very good when he's able to stand in the pocket on both feet, step into his throw, and we've got to give him time. And two, you've got to be able to open up the running game as well. I mean, Saturday we rushed for a little over 120 yards. I'd love to see us do a little bit more of that. We were a little banged up at the running back position. Pittman didn't play as well, so hopefully he'll be back. And I think if we can run the football, that'll open up the pass, and that's what I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, that's always important. Did you see the football game last night by any chance?
I did not. I did not. I apologize.
Well, the Detroit Lions just mashed the Baltimore Ravens, and they just have this massive wall of offensive linemen that destroy everybody in their path. How much fun would it be to play behind an offensive line like that, Lee, that was just big, strong, and just better than everybody on the field?
We could ask Joe Burrow that too.
No, you couldn't.
No, I mean that's fantastic because that gives you a push up front. They open up running lanes, and they protect the quarterback in the pocket as well. And hey, I'm a guy that liked to stand in the pocket when I was playing. I wasn't a guy that liked to get out of the pocket. So yeah, anytime you've got five big guys up front creating the pocket for you. That's
Pretty
what
good.
I like.
Well, just so you know, before I let you go, once again yesterday, Marchant Kenny took credit for all your success, and I think that's become a weekly thing with him, Lee.
No, I think so. I mean, you got to give Marchant credit for everything. I mean, he's the face of Southern Miss, especially back in the late 90s.
Yeah. Was he shy back then like he is now?
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, you could just say, hey, the size of his neck roll kind of is the kind of player and person he was.
Always good having you on the show, my friend.
Hey, appreciate you guys.
Lee Roberts, everybody. Yeah, Marchant Kenny.
Well,
Have you ever seen a grown man wearing a Partridge Family T-shirt with pants that have a matching stripe to his red shoes?
No, but I can tell you this: there's only one man that can pull it off.
Yeah.
thank you, sir. This is a fine young man right here.
Would you like a shirt like that?
I'd love one.
Would you? Yeah.
And look at his nose grow as he says that.
I could pull it off. I could pull it off.
Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel is a wholesaler and distributor that has been powering our community for over 20 years. With everything from conduits to tape, tools to home automation devices, if you can think of it, we supply it. All you need to do is talk us through the project at hand, and we'll ensure you're equipped to get it done right. To get all the electrical supplies you need, visit Robinson Electric at 519 North 13th Avenue or call us at 601-649-1317.
Hey, Southern Miss fans, TrustCare Health is proud to support the Golden Eagles and help keep our community in top shape, whether you're cheering at the Rock or the Peak. TrustCare has your back with convenient walk-in clinics and top-notch care for your urgent, primary, and kids' care needs. From game day injuries to everyday health needs, TrustCare is your go-to team. Visit us in Hattiesburg and Laurel, and let's keep the spirit of Southern Miss soaring to the top. Visit TrustCareHealth.com for more details. TrustCare Health. Feel better faster.
Southern Miss to the top. To the top. You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour.
This second segment of the Eagle Hour brought to you by Eagle Tire West. You can see it right there on Highway 98 as you are working your way west in the Hattiesburg area. New ownership and a place so good that Goodyear has named a tire after this store, the Goodyear Eagle. Eagle Tire West, owned and operated by Southern Miss fans. Complete car care at Eagle Tire West. The Eagle tires are what they put on the Indy cars when they go in for their pit stops and stuff, the Goodyear Eagles. Joining us now here in the studio, we're pleased to report, Neftali Alvarez. Nefta, as he's known, back from his native Puerto Rico, is actually going to turn around and go back in just a day or two playing professional basketball now in Puerto Rico after his time at Southern Miss. Came in to work out with the guys a little bit and again headed home in a couple days. Good to see you, Nefta. You look good. You've dropped about 20 pounds. Tell us about all that, first of all.
Man, first of all, thank you for the invitation to be here. You know, we're always glad to be part of anything that had to be with a Golden Eagle. Man, I'm happy. You know, I started my pro career in Puerto Rico. Everything went great, thank God. I just came to Hattiesburg for 2 weeks, you know, to work out with Todd. I really trust what he does. I mean, I was injured for a couple of years, and he was the one who was there for me, you know, trying to get me going on the basketball game.
And actually, when you were at Southern Miss, the big ankle injury, the foot injury, everybody was always worried about when you were going to be able to return. But now the foot and the ankle are okay, but you tore your ACL.
Nah, yeah. Thank God. I mean, my foot is being good. Like since last year in Southern Miss, I never had any issue with it. I went to Puerto Rico this year to play pro and never had any issue with it. But unfortunately, I turned my ACL by the end of the season. But thank God I'm back. I'm just working out, on my game and doing a lot of lifting, like weight room. I lost 20 pounds.
Trying to get right, trying to get ready, huh?
And I'm trying to get ready. I really did good. Thank God I did good. In Puerto Rico. I just got injury by the end of the season.
We were talking a little bit beforehand about the differences between the NBA, and then just the European League, the Puerto Rico, just different leagues out there. How is it different, the game itself, whenever you go from America to another country?
To be honest, Puerto Rico is kind of similar than here. The game is basically the same thing. Like it's all about your skill, one-on-one and everything. But like the difference between Puerto Rico and here is the transition from college to pro. Where pro you need to know how to play basketball. There's no time for you. I mean, there's always time for you to learn, but when you get to the pro game, you already need to know how to play, where to be. It's not about one-on-one. It's all about the group, the collective. How
good you can actually play the game with each other.
Exactly, how good you can play with each other, how you connect with your teammate. Man, it's a transition from college. And playing with no kid, but like young guys,
right.
And then you go to pro, and then you playing with old people like 36, 35.
People that know the game, and can play it.
Yes, and they don't really play with it. Like is win or die there.
Right.
I don't know if Bob heard that when you play with old guys that are 35 or 36.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Of course.
Those veteran players that they've been like all over the world.
Sure.
They know what to do. Their ethic of work is way different,
And not to make it a long thing, but hey, quickly name 3 things that are kind of similar, Puerto Rico to Hattiesburg, that made the transition as easy as you've told me it is.
Like basketball-wise?
Just personal life. You moving from Puerto Rico, you coming here 2.5 years ago?
Yeah, I was here for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. So you got here, what, 21?
22, actually.
22.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we're talking about like personal, it's like how people treat you here. Like when I first came to Hattiesburg, like people always treat me nicely. Like good people, and it's the same thing back home. You go to your country,
yeah,
and everybody's gonna treat you like that. Basketball wise, I feel like the way Jay Landner, Coach Juan when he was here, Nick, say what they did with us, that they really work with us for the next level, not only for college. Right. So when I get to my first pro career, first pro team, like I already knew what I was supposed to do.
Right. You were almost veteran, as you could say, just a little bit because of the knowledge that you've learned here at Southern.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Southern Miss prepared me a lot to the next level.
Neftali Alvarez is with us, former guard for the Southern Miss basketball team, heading back to his home area of Puerto Rico not long ago, or soon after, actually, the next couple of days. I always love to name drop Nefta, and nobody ever believes me when I say, Nefta and Bad Bunny are tight. But that's true. I mean, it goes back to your late father, established a relationship, right?
Yeah. Then to my father, like I get to meet Bad Bunny a couple times. We get to talk, and actually when I went home after my dad passed away like 2 years ago, we shared some words. He told me to keep it going, like no matter what happened to me, And like I always say, like everybody go through stuff, You just gotta be tough, and I take his advice and keep it going.
Yeah, and he's now actually a pro sports owner. Bad Bunny is. Pitbull is in the NASCAR racing scene.
Yeah, Bad Bunny actually have a basketball team in Puerto Rico in the league that I'm playing. And a great team, actually.
I was just going to say, they've won, 2 years in a row?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't won. The team who won, it was Jadier Molina with Bayamon, and they actually won this year again.
Did you just say Yachty again?
Yeah, Yadier Molina.
So off the air, I was asking him, my favorite player of all time, Yadier Molina.
Yeah.
2011, me and my dad were actually at the Game 6 when Freese hit the homer in the 11th to win it.
Yeah.
Well, they have
Yachty
to
was the catcher for.
They have to do something with all that money.
Have to, right? Why
So-
not go buy a team?
So when the basketball career is over, whenever that is, Nefta, then what?
To be honest, I don't know yet. Like, I actually want to focus right now on my basketball career. Of course, like I'm trying to make money, cause I have some plan that I want to do back home. You know, where I grew up. I'm trying to help some kids. You know, I feel like where I grew up, it was basically the hood, and I know there's a lot of young players that they came to the state and show what they got. You know, so I have one of my biggest plans is go there, build like a school or something where I can help those type of kids.
And what will you take away most from your years at Southern Miss?
I feel like I grow a lot here, not only as a basketball player but also as a person. My discipline when it get better, you know, like my ethic of work, like as a basketball player, but also like I wasn't a kid who get well alone, like around people. And if there's something that Southern Miss teach me, it was that. Like, you know, like I grow as a person.
You got to actually work out with the team a little bit.
I work out with the guys on Friday. Friday.
And it's kind of weird because you haven't been gone long, but you look out there and don't recognize hardly anybody.
Yes.
Did you take them to school or what?
I actually went to practice today to see the guys because I'm not very familiar with a lot of them. You know, we have a lot of transfers, but I was there. I was trying to see what they got. Trying to support the team. You know, they still have a Coach Jay Landner who was the one who gave me the opportunity to come to Harrisburg. So I will always be a Golden Eagle.
Well, it's not. You might not have heard of them, but I think they probably have heard of you. And the whole Cardona experiment, where he brought players, you know, from the Miami area, that added a certain element to Southern Miss basketball that I think people really enjoyed.
No, yeah. I think what Cardona brings here the last 2-3 years, you know, like a lot of guys from Miami, a lot of us who spoke another language like Spanish, you know.
He brings the freaking energy is what he brings.
Yeah, his energy, you know, is crazy.
That guy's the glue.
That Cuban coffee didn't
guy's
hurt
the
any.
glue.
Yeah.
So, well, Nefta, we want to wish you nothing but the best. Of course, thank you for actually coming to the studio today, and we're always going to remember you and your contributions here at Southern Miss, and we know whatever you touch is going to turn to gold. And give your mom our best, and thanks again for coming.
Amen. Thank you.
Bob, 35 or 36, old.
Time to go to the nursing home. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Thanks a lot for that, Neftali. We'll be right back.
The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Glad you're with us, and we appreciate you tuning in each and every day. This segment sponsored by DBAT on Hardy Street. Great baseball, softball training, great adult training, sports, any sport, no matter what your sport is. They can just make you better at DBAT on Hardy Street, and we appreciate all they do. Hey, don't forget that keeping up with your favorite team is fun, but the most important player on the team is you. You should get an annual physical. You should always exercise, and you should be sure your health is as good as it can be. Forest Health can help you with expert medical care, and it's right here at home, foresthealth.com. And want to say hello to our wonderful friends at MCS Home Center for home repair, home remodeling, home construction. Everything you need for your next project, it's at MCS Home Center, 7329 Highway 98 West in Hattiesburg. Dima Mixon covers Football Media Day for us every Tuesday. He just got out of that session on the campus, and I heard what you said. Interesting. Coach was asked about the quarterback and maybe some of the indecision Saturday night. Dima, and what was the answer?
Yeah, I thought that he made some interesting points there. He kind of made a joke to start it by saying, that we think he has a joystick on the sideline or whatever, but he did go in later and talked about instinct and didn't want to take that away from Braylon and didn't want to just, show him the film and say, you should have ran here, you should have ran there. He doesn't want to take away his instinct. But he did say that Braylon said after watching the film that there were a couple plays he should have just lowered his head and run the ball in. And I think that was pretty clear from all of us who watched the game on Saturday, that there were just so many opportunities where you thought that Braylon could utilize his legs, where he didn't. Another really interesting point was, it was a lot of the talk today was about preparation. And when I talked to Coach Huff after the game on Saturday, because I was in Ruston, he said to me, interestingly enough, that he thought this would happen on like the Wednesday before. He thought that the team wasn't prepared enough. And Chris Jones echoed that in the postgame as well by saying, Coach Huff told us Wednesday, Thursday that, he didn't think we were prepared enough to win this game. And so I talked to Elijah Metcalf after we talked to Coach Huff, and I said, hey, did he tell y'all that? What was kind of y'all's response? And he said, yes, he told us that, and us as a team was kind of like, I don't know, we kind of feel like we are prepared. So they almost like, in a way, didn't listen to him in a way. And I said, well, now that you saw that, Coach Huff knew that this was going to, you were going to go up there and get beat or whatever, does that kind of change your mindset? And he said yes. And so Coach Huff said today that they had the best practice that he's had all fall yesterday. So I think overall it was a very positive learning experience for the team who's still learning, trying to learn how to win. But I think that was the most interesting part of the press conference, that Huff knew that they were going to lose like last week, early in the week. He told the team that they did lose, and now, they're trying to prepare better for Jacksonville State, which, as y'all mentioned earlier in the program, really good team coming in here this weekend.
They're definitely a good team, but I think after coming off a loss the way it happened, I think it's going to be a one-way trip. But hey, here's
making a prediction here, Graham Crawford.
I mean, I certainly will, but I know I'm kind of biased. But I want to go back to Braylon Braxton. You're talking about Coach Huff. This is something that I want to ask Coach Huff personally. He's had him for, 3 years, right? Coach Huff, Braylon Braxton, they've been with each other. I'm sure there has been a point in time where Braylon Braxton did the exact opposite of what he did on Saturday, and there were repercussions. That's what I don't think anybody is seeing. I've not personally watched film from Marshall of the past, but I can just about assure you there has been times that during a similar situation, he's tucked it and tried to be the hero, and at some point, Coach Huff said, look, dude, you're going to break your neck. I need you to be healthy because without a quarterback, we can't play. So I need you to eat these. So during those pressure moments, I think it's not necessarily him being scared, him being passive. I've been yelled at so many times because I know if I get hurt trying to do something not stupid to score, that's not what I'm saying, but if you have the opportunity to give the ball up on somebody else that's in the end zone, do it. It's obvious. So I think that we're putting so much emphasis on Braylon Braxton not doing something when you don't know the past, because I'm just about can tell you, Coach Huff at some point has said, dude, you gotta chill out a little bit.
Dima, what's the situation with Pittman? I know he doesn't dwell on injuries or things like that, but what's the status of Pittman going forward?
Yeah, he's good to go this week. I think from what I've been able to gather, it was actually more of I don't want to question or I don't remember the word, but basically I think it was more of a disciplinary issue than an injury issue. From what I've understood, again, I don't want to speculate, but that's what I've understood. He was at the game on Saturday with his helmet and all this. He was dressed out. There was nothing that he was running. I didn't see anything in pregame that told me that he was not going to start until they actually started the game. But yeah, Huff confirmed that they should be all systems go with him. And Doc Chapman, who took a hit in that game kind of late into the second quarter, I think, kind of knocked him out. It was that targeting call that Louisiana Tech, got called on them for their best safety. It looks like he's good to go as well this week.
All right, Dima, when you look at the schedule after the Gamecocks come in here on Saturday, then it's all conference games the rest of the way for Southern Miss. Did Coach Huff indicate any aspect of the team that is just not up to par when it comes to being ready for conference play?
We didn't really get into conference play. I mean, they're really focused on getting a win here against Jacksonville State. But, I mean, a lot of the conversation was about preparation and making sure that they're ready to play, because I feel like they think they have, and with all due respect to Louisiana Tech, I mean, when you look at the box score and you see, there's no reason Southern Miss should have lost that game.
Right.
Like, from what they were able to do on offense, the way the defense responded, I mean, I don't think Louisiana Tech even had 100 yards of total offense in the second half. So I think, it was more of a, we know we're better than that. We're going to show it this week against Jacksonville State, because as you remember, guys, the trip to Jacksonville State last season did not pan out well for the black and gold. That was pretty much the start of where we all knew that season was headed, where they went over there to I forget where Jacksonville State even is, but
it's in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Oh, thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jacksonville and
not Florida.
Just got clobbered. 44-7, I think, was the final score, and so there's a part of that where I think they want to get that right. But again, Jacksonville State, I think they're just as good, if not better, than Louisiana Tech. So it's still going to take a complete game for the Golden Eagles to get the ship right. And I think it would be big for them to get a win here on Saturday, because then you go into the bye week and then you play that midweek game on the road at Georgia Southern, which really starts the back half of the schedule that it's crucial. And obviously Southern Miss right now 1-0 in conference, so they still have a lot of
they've got everything out there. Their whole season's sitting in front of them. That's the games that matter. It's the conference games.
Yeah.
We're trying to win a conference championship here.
All right. Hey, final question, Dima. I know a couple of weeks ago, Coach Huff talked a lot about fans getting there. I think there was probably some disappointment in the last home crowd. Did he talk about that at all, and the importance of fans being here Saturday night to support the team?
No, he did not. He did not mention the fans or anything like that. There wasn't really any questions about that. I hope it's a good crowd, but I have my doubts just based on, who else was playing in the state that day. But, I hope there's a decent crowd. It is a 6 p.m. kick at least, so it's not in the blazing sun. But no, he didn't mention it.
All right, real quick, were you able to grab us some interviews that we can tease for the rest of the week?
Yep, you'll be able to hear from Broderius Lewis and Kyron Heath later this week. Got to sit down with them and talk to them, so they'll be on the show later in the week. And so it was a good day overall. I think they know what they did wrong, and I really feel like you'll see a different team. But again, I don't necessarily think they played horrible. They just really just couldn't score, So that. Yeah, so I know I got to go.
All right, Dima, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. Dima Mixon, everybody, from the Southern Miss campus. Quick reminder, as we head to break, we're back on the road Friday. Bocoma Casino up in Sandersville. We'll be talking about the sports book up there, and should be fun. We hadn't been there in a while, and we're grateful that they've invited us back up.
Well, Dima asked me one time, he says, how come everybody at Bocoma knows you, Kelly, by your first name? And I said, could be that I frequented a casino every now and again.
There's actually a little Southern Miss magic that happens at the
Bocoma.
Yeah, little tradition.
Well, we'll have to fill us in on that
one day.
That'll be this Friday, 1:00. We hope you'll tune in. Want to remind you as we head to break about our podcast. We're very proud of it. It's on Apple, Audible, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube. Alexa or Siri will play the SuperTalk Eagle Hour for you. All you have to do is ask. I even was laying in my bed the other night and found us on YouTube TV. Now, that's just kind of weird. When you're scanning through TVs and channels and you find your podcast.
Can I tell
YouTube
Alexa,
TV.
can I yell, I'm like, can I listen to Kelly Sander, and it just pops up?
If you say Kelly Sander's name to Alexa, it shuts down.
Okay.
Like
right.
women in real life do. If
Actually, as a matter of fact, when you say Kelly Sander's name, for some reason, pictures of Zac Efron pull up.
Coincidence?
Does he have a Partridge Family T-shirt? I don't know.
You are greet
It's on Facebook.
envy, Bob. Envy.
Robinson Electric Supply in Laurel is a wholesaler and distributor that has been powering our community for over 20 years. With everything from conduits to tape, tools to home automation devices, if you can think of it, we supply it. All you need to do is talk us through the project at hand, and we'll ensure you're equipped to get it done right. To get all the electrical supplies you need, visit Robinson Electric at 519 North 13th Avenue or call us at 601-649-1317.
Hey, Southern Miss fans, TrustCare Health is proud to support the Golden Eagles and help keep our community in top shape, whether you're cheering at the Rock or the Peak. TrustCare has your back with convenient walk-in clinics and top-notch care for your urgent, primary, and kids' care needs. From game day injuries to everyday health needs, TrustCare is your go-to team. Visit us in Hattiesburg and Laurel, and let's keep the spirit of Southern Miss soaring to the top. Visit TrustCareHealth.com for more details. TrustCare Health. Feel better faster.
You're tuned in to the Eagle Hour. The Eagle Hour. Southern Miss to the top.
4th Street Bar Grill sponsors this segment of SuperTalk Eagle Hour. That's because it's the 4th segment. It's a great place to go for lunch, for dinner. Catch the ball game this weekend if you choose to do that. I'm guaranteeing you they'll have it on. Probably football all weekend because there is a lot of college football taking place this weekend. Hey, Mobay Beignet Company is a great place for dessert, 2902 Hardy Street. Check out their Facebook page. Mobay Beignet Company, Hattiesburg, is their official website, and the food is always good and delicious and cooked to order at Mobay Beignet Company. We're grateful to them for all they do. All right, Graham Crawford, spring baseball is underway. You were just kind of explaining things to me. You gradually get your pitchers back on the mound. You gradually, and it's all inning and pitch based right now.
Yeah, it's all pitch count based. Like, you're not going to run your Friday night guy out there for 3 innings. It's not going to happen. There's no point in it. What you're going to do is you're going to have those guys that are new, guys that maybe freshmen, transfers, and everybody's going to try to keep it around that 30 pitch limit. And you're going to try to have 6 to 7 inning scrimmages, three days a week, so you can get guys. If you're cruising along less than 15, 20 pitches, you're going to go the next inning, but everybody's going to keep it under 30.
And really, the fall, Graham, is more for the new guys than anybody else.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think you know what you've got with the returners, especially the guys that have already made a name for himself. Like, Colby Allen's not going out there trying to pitch for a starting spot. You know, that's not really the case. But what he is doing is showing those guys, hey, this is what it takes. This is what Southern Miss is in the fall. If you want to be here, this is what it looks like.
Because, you know, coaches often kick themselves in the tail if they throw one of their stalwarts out there and then they get hurt.
Right.
And you're going, why was he even out there? We know what he can do.
Right. And it's one of those things that it's kind of injuries happen.
Sure.
You know, you can't really dictate injuries, but the fall is definitely the time that, hey, aches, pains, unless you are trying to win that position, like you said, one of those new guys, one of those transfers, there's no point in pushing the needle.
Right.
Not when nothing counts now.
Right.
All right, Graham Crawford, I want to ask you this question. Mm-hmm. I got a couple of friends who have, one, his daughter's son plays Little League Baseball. I'm talking Little League Baseball, 7, 8 years old. Got another friend whose daughter-in-law and son do that. And I can't help but observe that it is baseball all summer long. Now it's fall baseball. In other words, it's just a year-round cycle. Coaches tell us that is not a good thing. As a former D1 player yourself, what do you say about that?
Oh, I can talk about this all day. So I know when I was coming up, travel ball was just now becoming a thing. It was all rec league based. So you played, from March till March, April, May, and then, you had your all-star team. But then you had travel just kind of became a deal at that time, kind of 2008 and up. So you would play up until the end of the summer. And what happened was now everybody wanted to play baseball, so now everybody's starting to just have teams for people that parents are going to pay for it. Mm-hmm. For some, they just will.
It's money making.
It's straight money making.
Yeah,
it's what it is. Playing baseball year round is not good for anyone, not professional athletes, especially not 8-year-olds. There's no point in have fun. Learn to play wiffle ball, play basketball, soccer, football, tennis, play every sport you can.
And here's something else about the fall that a lot of these coaches and parents don't realize. The best athletes are playing football and soccer in the fall. So they go win all these. Yeah, so they go win all the. Soccer's big.
Soccer?
So they go and they win these fall tournaments, and they're on Facebook showing their rings.
Wouldn't they play a real sport in the fall? Like football?
I'll tell you something.
Soccer?
Great for cardiovascular.
Soccer?
If there's anybody that knows anything about running, it's me.
I tell Graham Grease with me by the look on his face.
Any kind of other sport, I'll tell you this, every single sport has a completely different athletic ability almost.
But you guys can laugh all you want, but the number one participation sport among children these days is soccer.
Yes, it is. I think it's worldwide too. And I think soccer, believe it or not, I was never a big soccer player, but I wish I was because of how much better it would have made footwork.
But to finish the point that I was making earlier, you win these tournaments in the fall, they mean nothing because the best athletes are playing football and soccer. So in the spring, when those guys come back, you won all these tournaments, and then in the spring you get clobbered.
You got to reclassify as like AA, AAA, all this stuff.
Well, gosh, we won in the fall. Why didn't we win in the spring? It's because the athletes and players are better.
Well, that's interesting, and I appreciate you sharing that. But let me tell you what I've learned. There ain't no telling the parents that.
No. Can't tell them.
No
they
telling
know.
the parents that.
No, they know. They know.
One other news and notes that Major League Baseball has just announced today that next year, Graham Crawford, they are going to allow balls and strikes to be challenged.
Terrible decision.
Like outs. So they won't go to
a terrible
That
decision.
hurts me that my son won't get to witness a manager run out of the dugout because the umpire's been screwing him all game. You know what I'm saying? And getting to argue that. It's going to take away arguments. It's going to take away the catching position, receiving balls, because what does it matter if you catch it and make it look good? Because all you got to do is touch your hat or your helmet.
Framing goes away.
Gone. So now all you're going to do is have shortstops that can halfway block it and throw, which, I mean, it's kind of transitioning to that anyway. But still, it takes away the part of the game that everybody almost gets excited for.
It's a game played by humans. It should be officiated by humans.
Human error is needed in a game of failure.
It's a great game. Leave it alone. It's a great game. Leave it alone.
How many days left, Bob, before baseball season?
1 day closer.
1 day closer.
We'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and we'll be one damn day closer
You're
tomorrow.
right about that.
Southern
to the top.
Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I wanna fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. I go through the revolution.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.